Data transforms, as the name suggests, they are used to transform the data. They are used to preset the values of some properties. They are used to copy data from one page to other page, or one page list to other page, or from one context to other context. We can manipulate the data. We can transform the data. We can modify the data. Say for example, in this case, in the first screen we have to enter account information, and in the second screen we have to enter shipping information. In the third screen, when we come to the payment information, we have to collect the shipping address. In most of the cases, shipping address will be same as the billing address. So if we don't want user to replicate his efforts by entering billing address again, in such a case, user wants to select this checkbox. So the same as shipping address, billing address, same as shipping address. Then instantly all this data should be copied under here and shown as read-only format. So these are possible with the help of data transform. So with the on-click action we can define on this checkbox. The moment this is checked, the moment this value becomes true, then you have to run a data transform which copies data from shipping address page to billing address page. Likewise, in the billing information, we have to repopulate the full name. User has already entered first name and last name. So in a data transform, we can calculate full name is equal to first name plus last name by using string concatenation. And we can pre-populate full name in the billing information section. Say if you want to pre-populate date of travel and date of return based on, because you already know the difference between date of travel and date of return. In such cases, you can use data transform. So as you can see here, say consider some other case wherein you already know that the operator or the current requester who is running the case, he is only submitting the case. Then in such a case, you can pre-populate the first name and last name based on his operator ID record. Operator ID record is an instance of the class data admin operator ID. So we are declaring that in the pages and classes tab, so that PRPC knows that this py first name and py last name properties belongs to this class or belongs to this operator ID page name in the clipboard. Py default data transform in the case class is the default data transform that will be called automatically by Pega. In every case type, py start case starting process automatically calls this py default data transform. And this data transform internally calls py set field defaults another data transform. Generally, py set field defaults data transform is used to set property values for the properties which are shown in views to pre-populate fields in the UI, whereas in py default data transform is used to set property values for some of the business logic, or to set urgency work class, to set work ID prefix. Work ID prefix is the prefix which you are going to get when a work object is created. For example, if we create a new work object, that is a new case for a assistant request case type. So this is the A-9 is the py work ID prefix. If you want to the case name to come as B-9, then we can set here py work ID prefix is equal to B dash instead of A dash. So basically in a data transform, there are different things you can do. For example, set. This is called as action column, target column, relation column, source column. In the action column, you can use set to do normal property sets. Say for example, you set some property value, service provider GUD to some value. You can enclose in double quotes that value, or you can use another property so that you can set value from source property to target property. If source properties of different page context, you enter that page context name. For example, operator ID dot py requester in such or operator ID dot py first name in such fashion. Remove is it removes that value. So whatever property you enter here, so that property will be removed from the clipboard or page itself also. Apply data transform means you can call another data transform, just like we have called py set field defaults data transform in py default data transform. Next is sort. Sort is like you can give one page list property, say services. Page list means it will have sort services of 1, dot services of 2, dot services of 3, like that. So based on, so it will sort based on some criteria. It is used for sorting. Comment is it's like just a comment for to increase readability. When is for conditions, you can directly use some conditions, dot quantity. Say for example, dot check numbered covered is greater than 0. Like that you can check conditions, or you can create a when rule record and add conditions in that. If that condition satisfies, you can do some other property sets inside that. Otherwise, when is like see when is like if, otherwise when is like else if, otherwise is like else. Next we have append to. So basically append to is used to copy values from a source page to a target page. So if it is existing page, you can enter that page here, and this will be the target, which will be of page list. So you can also use each page in, if you are already in a loop or current source page. Append and map to also purpose is same. The only difference is, this is a famous interview question, what is the difference between append to and append and map to in data transform. Append to means it copies from source page to target page, but both the page types should be same, both the object types should be same, both the pages should be referring to the same class. Append and map to means you can copy from source page to target page, but they both can be of different object types, different class types. That is, their data type could be different. For each page in is like simple for loop. You can add your page list here. For example, dot services of 1, it will execute 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Again, for dot services of 2, it will execute 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. For each page, you are executing some logic. So when you select, so if you see here, we are iterating over dot services, means dot services of 1, of 2, of 3, like that. So if you press a dot here, you are going to get the data dash services offered class, because the target automatically takes the context of dot services. Dot services is a page list property of type dot services offered. But if you see the source field, if you press dot, you will get the context of the context in which the data transform is defined, service class. Say if you want source also to be from the same dot services, that is from services offered context, you need to select the checkbox, also use each page as source context. Then when you press dot here, you will get values from the services offered. So the use of this checkbox is, source context will also be the same as the looping page list context. Next we have exit for each. So you can exit that loop. Exit data transform is like you can exit the data transform. Thank you.